Economics Even a President Could Understand, by Mike Smart, narrated by the author. Chapter 1. Motivation. Everything is not as we wish it was. We are unhappy, largely dissatisfied with our lives. We are secretly fearful that terrible things will happen. We read exaggerated accounts in the newspapers of what is wrong with the world and believe them. There seems to be no authoritative source we can rely on to tell us what is going on. Ironically, the world in 2019 is safer, more peaceful, prosperous, and interesting than it has been at any time since a human being first rubbed two sticks together. People have no reason to fear being killed by wild animals. Infectious diseases pose a small and manageable threat to human populations. There is enough food produced to feed everyone. We live longer lives than we have ever lived before. There are still wars, but fewer people fight them in fewer places. We have become ingenious. Today, scientists and engineers can do things that alchemists, magicians, and science fiction writers could only dream about. Yesterday's magic is today's routine clerical task. When I was a child, we speculated about what wonders the 21st century would bring. Now that we are in that century and most of that speculation has come to pass, we feel a sense of anticlimax. At times, it seems some powerful new magic will be required just to survive into the next century with our climate and democratic freedoms intact. What exactly is the problem, and why didn't we see it coming in the 20th century? How can we fix that problem? In a modest way, this short book is my attempt to answer those questions. In tackling these important questions, I will consider what science can tell us. I choose to do that because every serious conflict between reality and aspiration must either be solved by scientific means or not be solved at all. I originally intended to call it Economics for Children because it is mostly told in simple language with simple examples that young people could relate to. I've tried to keep it amusing even though we are facing some very unfunny problems at the moment. As you see, I changed the title. While a young person could understand what I am explaining, this is not a book for beginners. It is aimed at adults who are interested in current affairs but who aren't trained in economics. While I would encourage everyone to learn more about economics, I don't believe you need a PhD in the subject to devise and act on meaningful solutions. Clearly, but imprecisely, the problem is with ourselves. More specifically, it is the way we have approached the challenges of living with each other and with the natural world. You may be surprised to hear that the branch of science that deals with those challenges is economics. What? Boring old economics? Gross domestic product? Inflation? Interest rates? Monetary policy? Tax and the share market? What does all that dull gobbledygook have to do with the problems of life on Earth? Economics is actually more than it is made out to be. A well-known economist of my day observed that economics is the study of those phenomena that can be understood as emerging from the interactions among intelligent, self-interested individuals. From this pithy, if wordy, definition, I surmise that Professor Krugman did not write a lot of children's books. Putting this in another form of words, whenever you have a group of people dealing with each other for the purpose of pursuing selfish aims in an intelligent way, you have a situation that economics can help you to understand better. How much of what happens in the world that we care about falls into this category? Practically everything. This is why it is so important to understand economics and why I am asking for your time to ponder it. To make this story more digestible, I have managed to keep the number of equations to the bare minimum equals 0. Believe me when I say that this was not easy for me. I'm a great
Sample complete. Ready to continue?